So, welcome back to another episode of The Mathis Verdict. Actually, welcome back to another episode of The Mathis Verdict with Judge Mathis and Amir Mathis. You know, people who are listening in their cars and things like that know they're listening to.
Okay, be careful what you ask for. You might not want them to know your name at all. What we talking about today?
Hold on,
Let's get to it.
Let me turn this.
How you gonna do a program on your cell phone ringing? That's what you young folks. You a millennial or what are you? A GZ or GX?
I'm a GD.
GD, all right now you gonna get you gonna get fined for that, Doc. They gonna fine you for that.
Hey,
I might try to get them to give you a pass since I know a few of them. I work with a few of them to try and influence our young people in a positive way. I work with gang members and former gang leaders primarily to try and get them to influence our young people. So I'm gonna get them in this case to stay off of you.
I'm a millennial. But yeah, we have some fun cases today. We're going to be talking about Halle Bailey and DDG, Young Thug, and the YSL case. Some people have questions about that. Apollonia versus the Prince estate, the name issue, and Sean Kingston.
There's a lot to talk about, but we up to it.
Yeah, we're up to it.
That's right.
We got a lot of stamina right now. We're going through a heat wave in California, so I'm hot. It's hot in the studio right now, so I got my little, handy little. I use this for my car, for my hair.
That's gross.
Everything.
Cut that out.
Wash it. It's
Cut
fine.
it out.
Wash it is fine. Microfiber though. Get the
You're
micro.
not putting that on my show.
Micro
or a show I'm in.
The micro says.
You better get some white.
We also got another member right here. Part of the team who's first time on set right now.
Clearly, this man doesn't know television.
We got Maya. I know that people love dogs, and so this will be the only.
Have you ever seen me bring a dog onto the hit 26-year Judge Mathis show, or wipe my face with a car cleaner? With a cloth that cleans the car.
Yeah. All right. So, let's get started.
That's right.
Our first caller up, her name is Kana, and she'll be talking about the Halle Bailey and DDG case. Just happened recently, and we'll give some details about it.
I can't get past that when you wiping your face with the car cloth. Do you have a bath cloth or a white one or something?
I actually buy these new.
I can't even discuss the cases now. I'm so distracted.
Stop it. I don't know what generation I am, but we use hanker cloth.
Thank you. Would you tell them?
Yeah, just
mercy.
Is all I had in the car.
It was in the.
Well, you should go. Right. You should just. I prefer you sweat or use your arm. Wipe it with your arm, or take your T-shirt.
Kana, we didn't introduce you yet. You can't be speaking right now. We're not ready for your opinions about anything right now.
Right?
I don't know if they do it in mainstream society, but in the hood, we take our shirt and wipe our face with it, our T-shirt. Let's move on.
Let's go.
Before our viewers leave because they don't want to hear this gross stuff or see that old gross stuff.
Oh, no, I can't take this off because it's Dolce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Dolce with a microfiber car wash wipe for your face.
Thank you.
Okay, the first caller having some connection issues, and so we're going to go to caller number 2. She's back? She's back? Okay, all right.
I'm back. How are you?
All right, I'm doing good. Well, let me introduce this case, and then we will introduce you and learn some things about you and hear your question. Halle Bailey and DDG. A California judge has ordered Halle Bailey and DDG to stop posting their 19-month-old son, Halo, on social media. No photos, no videos, or public details. The ruling comes after Bailey accused DDG of verbal, emotional, and physical abuse. She was granted a restraining order in sole custody. DDG tried to block her from taking Halo abroad for work and filed his own restraining order, but the court denied it. Now, DDG has been granted professionally supervised visits twice a week and every other Sunday. You want to dive into our first caller?
Yeah, let's do that.
Should judges be really able to block that parents from posting their kids on Instagram?
How old are they? Do you know?
He's 27.
Okay, and she's how old?
I'm not sure, but she's around the mid-20s.
Yeah,
Mid-20s?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because they settled into fame early, and fame is a different animal, and so Two young people not adjusted to a life of fame because it's early in their career, or if it's late and they don't have the maturity or the wisdom to know how to handle this type of fame, particularly as it relates to family issues, then perhaps they started a family too early. And when I say started a family, they were together when the child was born. Correct?
Correct.
Correct.
They were.
Yes.
Yeah,
And,
and
she's
so.
moved, and she's moved on since then. So.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm just saying how they got into this trouble and giving an example of how the other young stars can avoid this type of trouble. Wait until you really mature to handle. Go through this thing first. And 30 is not too young. 35, I think the average marriage age is about between about 30, I think I read recently. And I may have gotten married too old, too young, at age 25, and Mama was 22. And we were, she was, I was still in law school and hanging out with my buddies a lot, going to the clubs, going to the after work events. So, and newlywed. If I wanted a more conventional marriage early on, I should have waited to an older age. However, I was on a fast track. I wanted to be married. I wanted a family. And I was on a fast track in my career, so I couldn't stop that. But the cost was my wife had to carry the load. My wife, Linda, who had found and operated 5 preschools, raising 3 children, carrying them on her back in the mornings with her, and here I'm of no help because I'm not around until the weekends. And so that's what I suggest to all young people. Get a good grip into your career and some maturity before you start a permanent, what you would seek to be a permanent relationship and starting a family. Because if you're still talking on the internet about your relationship and about your children and all of this and the negative connotation, it's all right, I think, to show it in a positive, here's my child, we're having fun, it's such and such. Here's me and the baby having fun, it's such and such. But when you go on the internet injecting your baby in an argument between you and your woman or you and your man, now you've taken it to a different level. You've taken it into a destructive level in the relationship and destroying the relationship that you all both may want to have stronger within that parenthood. And so that would be my first observation. Stay off the internet with your stuff. And if you're not ready to stay off the internet and don't know how to handle the fame yet, then wait until you do. Wait on some maturity.
But I would say too, it's harder these days to find the balance for some people because like DDG, he's a streamer. And so he streams, streams a lot of his life onto social media. And that's the part of a streamer, is showing these vulnerable sides of yourself, full access and all these things. And so some people might get misconstrued of, what to share and what not to share. And that can be a hard thing also though.
Yeah, and that's a part of being sued. Mm-hmm. And if
that's
you don't
right.
know don't know how to navigate your way because you're the streamer and you want to be famous or you are famous, so you use every single opportunity to post something, even though it might involve others who don't want you to post them. You post things that are embarrassing about others. You post things that folks do not want you to see. It's an invasion of their privacy that causes them some problems, then that's the chance you take in that area. You got these YouTubers who talk crazy, make up all these things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, one woman said, when we had our family crisis, one woman said, I had 5 babies. And I want to mention her name. She's a YouTuber, and she talk ignorant. She's a comedian, and most folks know who I'm talking about then. Dark complected, short hair, talk crazy, and so-called comedian and sounds ignorant, can't speak very well, but yet had to speak on me, talking about I had 5 babies in the street and such and such and such and such. You think my wife would have took me back if I had any kind of baby in the street? But they talk ignorant, and did I respond to her? Did I respond to all these other ignorant folks? You had somebody on there posted me, a YouTuber, had a picture of me kissing a man and with my son or some old craziness because my son is gay and I'm proud. And so...
Not me.
But that YouTuber...
You know,
I don't know what you do. We don't know what you do.
I just wanted to let it out there.
I hope my son is openly gay. This other one in the closet. So, to tell the truth. Tell the truth. So leave that nonsense alone. Ignore it. And if it jeopardizes your career, however, and it continues to have legs and people begin to believe that nonsense, yes, then you have to address it. So I don't know how long he was doing this on the internet or streaming things that would hurt her image. But when it became extended, then it's time to take action, and that's what she did.
I do want to state that none of them in the actual case, it was the judge's decision just based on arguments they were having, but then they both agreed to that fully. It wasn't her trying to, no one filed for that to happen. The judge made that decision on his own.
Yeah, it started because he sued her. Because she would to prevent her from taking the child on the road with her in her concert tour.
Correct.
And so she sued him back. He should have left that alone because she came back with restraining orders, abuse allegations, talked about how he dogged her, she alleged. And so it turned into something totally different. Then it turned into restraining order, not a restraining order to keep the baby from going out of town, a restraining order on you for the abuse that she has convinced the court has occurred. And that's why he has limited visitation.
Supervised visitation.
Yeah. And it's limited too. Twice a week. 9
on
to 6 p.m., 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and every other Sunday. And he don't wake up if you are. No, he's a streamer, not a performer.
He don't wake up.
Yeah, he's a rapper also.
Oh, he's a rapper too? Yeah, he don't wake up until 2 o'clock. I mean, because they're in the studio. I'm not trying to disparage the man's.
And bless his heart, because her heart, and in his not even his defense, but she picked her poison. He's a streamer, so a part of his livelihood when he's waking up, I've seen photos. Like I said, I watched a recent stream yesterday when he had the girls on there. But he's making a great living out of streaming. And I'm not sure why she would have thought that this was not, and somebody probably advised her, but you love who you love. You get what I'm saying?
But they should have discussed it. There's a question as to whether a judge can, or whether a person can expose their child to the public without the other parent's permission.
And that's one of the questions. He should be able to. However, it needs to be taken into consideration. His job description is to, just like you said, divulge his life. And Amir said 24/7 for the most part, if he decides to. So I do think that's why it's very important that a judge does step in and say, hey, since y'all can't manage it, as you said, Judge Mathis, I'm going to go ahead and step in. The child doesn't need to be involved in your professional careers. We're gonna manage that piece of it, and we're gonna move forward as need be. The custodial parent has a kid, and we'll come back to it later.
And I say they shouldn't expose to the social media their child unless they both agree. Now, if they both agree, fine. And that's one reason, guys, when you're breaking up or divorcing or what have you, you better be smooth with that thing. You can't be contentious with the custodial parent. You gotta treat that thing right. That thing meaning these circumstances, the issue itself, and warm up to that woman. So if a woman has full custody of the child or custodial custody, has the child with them the majority of the time, you better treat her nice as you can. Even though she crossed you, I don't care if she ran off, whatever she did. You can be mad as you want, but you better play nice.
So the finesse.
There you go, finesse. There you go.
All right. Any more questions you have about this one?
When both parents are celebrities, should there even be a shield? Is it possible for celebrities, as yourself, Judge Mathis, like you open with, hey, you better be careful what you ask for a parent, a celebrity parent, to shield, their children from this celebrity spotlight?
Yeah, I think it's very reasonable that you might do that, particularly depending on the level of stardom. If the media is consumed with you and your life, perhaps not. I think there's different scenarios. On the other hand, for example, part of who I am is a family person. I've exposed my life to the public for inspirational purposes. I resigned my judgeship in Detroit to take a 20% chance, is what they told me, of success on television because I wanted to use my life and journey as an example to inspire single mothers like my mother was and street guys who I know can change their lives like I did. So to that extent, I want to be open with my life. I want to show these young brothers that you can have a stable family after you've come from jail, prison, prepare yourself, and you can live that same life. So that's the issue. Do you want to use it purposefully? Or do you just want to floss and flash and show money? And folks show money and cars. And I got 20 cars. Look at my watches. I got 20 watches. And then you're broke 5 years later. Instead of, you've never seen my house. You've never seen our cars. We have houses and cars, but you'll never see them because I don't like to big time people. And I'm not rich anymore. My grandkids are rich. Everything I got going to the grandkids. I'm not rich anymore.
No, I think it does have to do a lot with even the moral compass of a person. They're just not going to do it because I don't want to expose that, because you don't know what the greater good or evil has against it. So that I'm not going to do those things.
Yep, it's a sacrifice for sure. We make that sacrifice for the purpose of benefiting society. You do pretty well here. We're going to have to bring you back. Yeah. Thank you for calling. We appreciate you much.
Thank you so much.
What we got coming up next? What we're talking about next?
So our next topic, we're going to talk about the YSL Young Thug case and give some background. Young Thug and his YSL collective faced one of the biggest RICO cases in Georgia history. Prosecutors claimed YSL wasn't just a label, but it was a violent street gang involved in murders, drugs, and weapons trafficking. The indictment named 28 YSL members, treating the label itself as a criminal enterprise. So every single person that was signed under the label was included in that RICO charge. The state used rap lyrics and music videos as evidence, arguing they showed real intent behind the crimes. That raised serious free speech concerns, especially in hip-hop. Young Thug eventually took a plea deal. No prison, but 15 years probation, a 10-year ban from Atlanta, restrictions of making gang-related music, and a mandatory anti-gang appearances. And so right now we have our next caller, Joe. He has some questions about it. Yeah, Joe, let's, where are you calling us from?
Hey guys, hi Amir and Judge, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, of course, thank you.
I noticed one thing off the bat real quick.
Thank you for doing such a great job in making that movie, Fighting to Be Me, the Dwayne Curry story, airing now on BET Plus.
Yep.
I don't know if you'll see underneath the poster behind me, but the trophy that I won, the Telly Award I won for outstanding directing for that movie.
No, that's right.
Congratulations.
You did.
Yes,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I had no
Man,
idea.
we're so proud of you. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. It was truly an honor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you for having me on. A few quick questions, because as a creative, I'm glad we're talking about this. As a creative, we're talking about them using the lyrics as evidence against him. And so my question for you guys for the discussion is like, can rap lyrics be used as evidence in court, or does that criminalize black art and culture?
Well, if they talk about a crime they committed and the crime actually occurred, if you sing about killing somebody and I killed a Negro, and I killed a ninja, and I killed such and then such and such is dead.
Right.
Yeah, you're definitely a suspect.
Yeah, this was this was like, people get heated about this, but I'm like, if you're actually admitting to a crime on tape that's aired,
And the crime actually happened.
and what you're saying is more evidence than has been let out to the public,
Yes.
that should be able to be used.
Yes, and I feel that way, the same way about these so-called gangsters who are flossing weapons and narcotics on the internet, and the police are monitoring it. They have entire divisions in the police department that monitors what is put on the internet. Let's see who wants to go to prison today. Okay, this one posted 10 pounds of weed with 3 guns next to it, smiling with gold teeth. Okay, put his name down. Such and such and such, because that's crime. That's a crime. Those 10 pounds and that gun, that sawed off, or that created AR-15. So that's the point. On the other hand, singing about rap that you are unable to connect to a crime that has been committed, I think it violates the rights of those rappers. I don't think they should be investigated based on them singing rap songs, to look and see what they've done and follow them around and create a scenario, create a narrative. No, that is the war on rap. Most of these brothers are just singing about the reality that they have lived, and if you want to change that reality, then that's end poverty, because all that's a part of poverty. If you don't want them to sing about drugs no more, get the drugs out their community. If you don't want them to sing about guns anymore, get the guns out their community.
And there's an entirely different, I would say, when you put rap lyrics and actually commit the crime, that's almost like putting your crime up on Twitter or Instagram. You're putting it out to the public in a medium of public media.
They should get a whole internet section in the prison. What you in here for, internet? What you in here for, internet? Show guns on the internet. Show 2 or 3 kilos piled up on the internet. Right. Yeah, put them in a separate section, because the real gangsters in prison gonna take advantage of them. This man coming here talking about he on the internet. He got time being on the internet. Oh no, we gonna rob you every day, even if you don't have nothing.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, they need to stop going to jail about something over the internet.
Well, what do you think about that? Do you kind of agree with that?
It's not that I don't necessarily agree or disagree. But for example, the first movie I did was called Lethal Legacy, and we opened the movie where we learned this young woman's uncle was killed. They were poisoning him. And so let's just say, hypothetically, if someone in your family passes away from a heart attack a few months later, can someone say, oh, you wrote about that a few months ago? Were you premeditating this? Now, of course, that's a stretch. But, people have gone to jail for coincidental situations like these in the past.
Yeah.
So now in this case, I don't want to say we're looking at a modern day Death Row Records here. If a label's funding the music and the crime, should the label be punished or just the individual?
Well, first of all, let's make a distinction now. Death Row was never accused of engaged in criminal activity as an enterprise, or Suge Knight himself as the president, or none of the artists otherwise are connected to any criminal activity. In this case, YSL was charged with coordinating with their record label, was part of the coordination of a criminal enterprise. That was the RICO case, and that means within that record label, to further the goals and the financial benefit of the record label, you guys were engaged in organized criminal criminal organized enterprise.
That's an interesting question, because YSL 28 members on the label. Is that right for every single person to be indicted in that case?
Absolutely not. Yeah. I think that they should have Perhaps they did. I don't know if they investigated all 28. These feds, they got the whole. That's why they
That was
the feds.
no, that was state Georgia.
The state of Georgia, yeah, because they don't have as many prosecutors as the.
I think that's why a lot of the case faltered. Like we just saw an update where 2 other members were found not guilty.
Yes, that's correct.
And so we're talking about all those members. Did the state, you think, target Young Thug just to make an example out of him? Or was there real proof of the gang activity they were being accused of?
I think there was evidence that they were engaged in criminal activity. I don't know if it was coordinated. I don't know if I'm convinced it was coordinated by the record label. And that's perhaps why the sentence was a light sentence, in my opinion, based on the allegations they made against Young Thug. However, he still contends he didn't do it. He's innocent. But he did it to avoid a harsher sentence. And since it included probation and freedom to make his music, I would have taken that same deal.
Absolutely.
I would have taken that same deal. And it says he didn't negotiate it. That means he didn't snitch on anyone.
Right.
So I think he did the right thing in light of the prospective punishment and convictions that the others got.
Do you think it's a little bit insane though? Somebody gets 15 years probation and then a 10-year ban from Atlanta, like from an entire city?
Yeah, because they saying that that's where you do your that's where you engage in your criminal activity. That's where your peers are, where you engage in the criminal activity.
Yeah.
Trying to look out for you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look out for you. Get you away because he knows the peer pressure.
Right.
You can't that ain't how that go. You can't just be down with the crew and everybody catch cases, and now you come back out. You don't have a case, so you reorganize or try and revive what you've done. No, that ain't how that go. Because the peer pressure, or you try and do it crime free. When all your crew are criminals, those who didn't get cracked are criminals, and so you come back to them. You think you're gonna hang out with your buddies who didn't get knocked off by the police, and we cool again. No, we gotta look at you strange, and the feds are gonna say or the state, that's peer pressure. That's peer pressure, and I'm gonna do you a favor and get you away from this peer pressure because you're gonna fall.
Now, have you heard of that before? Do you think that that's something specifically that was for him because he has resources and financial backing to live somewhere else and still live a good life? Because if somebody has their family there, their support system in Atlanta, that's where his livelihood is from, his income basically.
If you're uprooting someone, that's not really fair.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you think that was specifically to him, or do you think that that's something that's been done before?
Oh, I don't know of any precedent. Yeah, you're right, and that is kind of a big challenge. However, I really do think the judge did him a favor because I know how those streets operate. If you come back there and you're not back down with the game, you're going to have a problem. Judge knows, as I know, you go back into that same environment, the peer pressure is still the same. I went back into the environment 1 year after I went to college. That summer, I went back to recruit my guys, the same guys I was in the street with 1 year later before I went to jail. I went back and got my ass whooped. They pistol whooped me, robbed me, even took my clothes, got the pistol whoop gash still in my head. Why? Because you ain't one of us no more. You're not one of us. So we're going to victimize you. And so I think the judge did him a favor. Right. And I would hope that he understands that is a favor to get away from that same crowd that got him that RICO case.
Yep.
I just want to add on that, sir, because he's doing him a favor, but to some people that might be looked at as a punishment.
Could you say it's both?
I agree to it. Let's start there. But secondly, the judge believes he was guilty. And so the judge isn't concerned about your personal preferences or what you want to do. You could be doing 20, 30, 40. So don't tell me about you don't want to move or be uprooted. And we have to look at each case alone. And I believe that I'm jokingly saying that the judge did him a favor, but I believe the judge was trying to keep him from any opportunity to re-engage with the same criminal activity that he had been engaged in, that the judge believes he had been engaged in.
Well, Judge and Amir, thank you guys so much for taking my questions and having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. And good luck with your next endeavors. Any movies coming up that you're working on? Or?
I have a few projects in development again.
Okay.
And, a few series, books, and
All right. We look forward to seeing the next.
Can't wait.
Good Joe here.
Everybody out there, Joe Carroll, check him out. And also we'll give a shout out again to Fighting to Be Me, the Dwayne Curry story.
Executive produced by Judge Mathis.
Exactly.
That's right.
Give me my dap.
Absolutely.
Let us know.
All right. And so the next topic that we have is there's a lawsuit against the Prince estate. And, Prince passed away and, basically his estate has the rights to his likeness.
His likeness.
His likeness, yeah. And so,
This is about Apollonia's likeness.
As we have a caller who want to talk about that case. Patty Cotero, best known as Apollonia from Prince's Purple Rain, is suing Prince's estate over the rights to her iconic stage name. She claims the estate is trying to trademark Apollonia for clothing and entertainment, despite her using it for over 40 years in music, film, and her own podcast. Cotero says Prince himself gave her the name and encouraged her career under it. Now she's asking the court to affirm her ownership. But the estate argues the name is part of Prince's legacy, calling her lawsuit frivolous and claiming they tried to offer her performance opportunities under the name. It's a legal battle that raises big questions about personal identity, legacy, and who really owns a name in entertainment. And so we have a caller, Ty, in. Ty, where are you calling from right now?
Hey, what's going on? It's Ty Cole here, and I'm calling from LA.
Oh, nice. What part of LA you in?
Unfortunately, downtown. But it's
Yeah,
not too bad.
Yeah, you seem like you cooled off. I was sweating a lot. I had to switch towels because people were getting a little offended by it.
Earlier
But
the conversation, it was getting a little nasty, Amir, but I didn't want to judge you. So,
I know, but sometimes you gotta get a little nasty in life.
Not with me, you don't. Not on anything I'm involved with.
Depending on the situation. But yeah, when I heard about this case and I was reading about it, it kind of made me think about myself and kind of what you were just saying, Judge, where like making sure you trademark your name. So my mom, she used to always tell me, she said, Ty, as you grow and as you are doing certain things, make sure that you have ownership. So when I heard about this case and I see how, and getting that context from you, Judge, how Prince already had that name trademarked, unfortunately, even though she was part of the group, I just feel like it kind of sucks because it's like you're doing so much, you're creating this image and this aura using this name, Apollonia. You kind of created the essence of who she is. But it's like you're not have to move it and navigate through the world not owning something. So my question is, should an artist own their stage name forever, even if a superstar like Prince helped launched it? And I think it just depends on the situation. But what do you guys think?
It's all about trademarks. It's all about trademarks. And so if she had trademarked the name Apollonia, then there wouldn't be an issue. I'm not sure if Prince came up with the name or if he, as is in the entertainment industry, determined what the name would be without asking or discussing, or just said, I'm going to create this to advance the brand and to advance my record label, and this is part of my record label. This group is part of my record label. I take you back to Warner Brothers. In my situation, they say, we created this show and we named this show the Judge Mathis Show. We financed this show. This is ours. We trademarked it. In this instance, it sounds like that might have been the case with Prince. I created this group. I gave you that name. I made you, this name was attached to my label, and so the name and the trademark is mine. They've allowed her to use it in performing. She was getting a gift there. Now, she may want to use it for some ancillary products. Perhaps that's where she's at. She says, well, I want to do a clothing line with my own name. I heard they are. Well, I want to do it. Perhaps that's where there might be some type of settlement window. Because in all fairness, out of fairness, she should be able to benefit from the continuing use of her name. That's out of fairness. And there's it's called equity in the law. Some things the law is strict, but there's equity, meaning it's only fair.
So even if she's performing under the name, she can still get a check, correct?
Absolutely.
But she can't profit off of the clothing and whatever they fight, they can take, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. And so she pretty much is at will to what they says she can do from the name.
That's correct. Absolutely.
And you think that'll hold up in the court of law pretty much?
Yes, because he has the trademark. Yeah. And I would hope that they would do some form of settlement that allows her a percentage of any sales and any ancillary areas involving Apollonia 6.
Yeah, it's almost like, okay, maybe do you think that it would be fair if they said you can make money off of your Apollonia stuff that has your face on it and that's to your likeness?
Because she go on to be she makes $1 billion and their little product makes $1 million. No.
They want that point.
So because they'll say, well, that was the idea we had before you had it and so I say just negotiate, get this woman 10% of all the sales of any ancillary products, and I think that would be fair.
Let's say the estate does win. But they don't go the route that you just said, Judge, where it's like, in all fairness, here's at least 10, maybe 12%. So if the estate wins, doesn't give her any kind of percent, does that mean that Apollonia basically, loses her identity after being this, persona for over 40 years?
She doesn't lose the persona. Some folks, they do it if they try to prohibit her from performing under that name now because she started some mess with them when they were leaving her alone and letting her make money off the stage name that they trademarked. Some folks just kind of work around the name. You've heard things like the New Temptations or something like that, or the tribute to Apollonia.
The artist
like
formerly known as Apollonia.
Yeah, artist formerly, So they shouldn't go through all that.
But and I have a question too, though. So you said the 10% thing, right?
Yes.
Does that mean that if she has a concert and she sells merchandise under her name, that she only gets 10%?
It depends on who has the rights to the merchandise.
Got it.
Okay. Because that was a question I was thinking of too. Like, what if she sells the merch at her concert? So do you feel like estates are protecting legacies, or do you feel like they're cashing in on every possible name and brand that they can trademark that is unclaimed?
I think they're doing both. I think, one, protecting the legacy means not allowing folks to use the image and likeness in a way that would denigrate that legacy. And on the other hand, yes, it should be. The person, when they were alive, their objective was to exploit their name for financial purposes and other purposes. So certainly they should, even after the person has deceased, they should do it on behalf of the estate to benefit the family.
Right.
Because that's where, if a person has a family, that's where most of the money is going. So in this instance, the principal, Michael Jackson, Prince, they're gone. So you do want your family to be able to use your name and likeness to continue to prosper. Could you imagine Michael Jackson's kids living in poverty? Because he's gone and they don't have a name, they can't use his name anymore. The estate can't make money off of his name anymore. The estate says, well, we're only going to check people who use his name. We're not going to try to make any more money. And his children living in poverty. That sounds crazy. So that's the reason I agree they should continue to be able to make money off of the estates. And Michael Jackson's estate, we're pleased to say, has made over $2 billion since his death.
Wow.
And his Miss Catherine, God bless her. I love her to death. She is benefiting. His children is benefiting, and whomever else he may have designated in his trust.
I feel like we in an economy where, like, funds is limited. So I feel like at this point, everybody's trying to just grab a couple of cash and a couple of dollars to pocket and save. So I just feel like a lot of times when I hear these cases, I'm just like, I hear it and I see it, but I'm also like, we kind of in a recession. So I understand trying to get something to pocket.
Let me tell you what you should do. Everybody, you should be trying to go out there and hustle like everybody else. I'll tell you what, I like your hair. I really do. With the blonde on top and the and the black there, I really do. Take a picture of that, trademark it, put down the purpose of your trademark is to market the hairstyle right here that I have and put it out on the internet. As I can't think through all of this in these 30 seconds, but the fact is, you can do something to make you some money if you trademark that look, I think.
Even if it's a popular look?
Well, you can't make, you got Levi's, you can't put, it won't be his popular look. There you go, I have it now. Name it after you. Name the look after you. It will be an original. So if folks want the fake one, they can get the fake one. If they want the real hairstyle like that, they'll get his.
You sure that'll work?
Yeah, Levi has jeans, and so does everybody else.
That's a product
but
that
I
they
go to
make.
Levi first because Levi was the first to do it.
But it's almost saying if I, okay, we gotta look that
No,
up.
I'm gonna take that. And you know what? When I do make my money off this, Judge Mathis, I'll give you at least 5%.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
though.
See, that's what they should have did with Apollonia, and they wouldn't have a lawsuit. We need to be in business together.
I appreciate y'all so much having me on here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ty.
And I thank y'all so much.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Thank you. We ran a little bit long today, so we have part 2 coming to you next Thursday, and we look forward to you hearing that. Tune in. Mathis Verdict.